Hey folks, so we're doing a little bit of work on the new Renegade that I picked up here a few weeks ago on the XS chassis. So I just want to give a little update of what I was doing here. I did have the sled overheat on my trip that I was on yesterday and Sunday. So what happened? The first time I went to fill up with gas, left the sled on, it overheated. So the temperature, the temperature gauge came on, of course, and started flashing. Well, yesterday it happened again when I was trying to look for a gas station. But then the engine light came on after, I don't know, a couple minutes of trying to find some snow to get that temperature gauge down there. So I stopped it on the trail, and eventually the coolant overheated, and some coolant leaked out of the reservoir or wherever, the excess runoff is for the coolant. So it leaked down. I had to fill it up here. Should have taken this off beforehand. So I filled it up. I had to take a little bit of this plastic off here, but then I filled it up to the recommended cold line. As you can see, it's filled up just about to that line. So when I got it back yesterday, I couldn't really tell how much coolant was in it. When I got here this morning, I found out it was pretty much down to the bottom. So, and some of this leak is because I tried pouring it in there, and I actually got the coolant everywhere when I tried pouring it in there, which isn't good. But anyway, I filled that up. It seems to run fine now. But I'm just wondering if any of you guys have had that issue here in the past. And I did have it overheat once on trails that were pretty hard packed, and I was going a little bit slower, and I couldn't get the I just couldn't get any snow up on the intercooler there. So this is a 1200 Fortec too, by the way, which I do love. Pretty responsive, pretty good. Alexa did have overheating issues with this one too when we got gas and when we were on that trail with the hard pan. So as you can see, I still don't have this one set up for my riding. I mean, it's pretty firm suspension. That one's set up for me. This one, however, is not. So eventually I'd like to get that suspension set up to my riding type here, as this one is. When I sit on it, it goes down, and that snow is able to hit the flap and kind of recirculate back into the heat exchanger there. So right now, what I'm going to do is install these rail ice scratchers. Went to my BRP dealer, and that's what they recommended. I didn't want to wait for Amazon. I have one like 10 minutes away from my house, so I just decided to go up there and get them. But anyway, I'm going to install these rail scratchers here and see how they do. I'm just looking at the instructions here, and we are going to get those installed and go from there, and hopefully I'll be able to update as to how they look on the machine, how installation was, and how they actually work. I'm really hoping I don't have any overheating issues again. This is a damn near brand new sled, and it did cost some coin. So after I get that on, I'm going to wash it up, get rid of some of this black stuff from my clothing from riding. I did check the oil. The oil seemed fine, so everything checks out. I mean, it runs good, starts up, everything that you would expect. So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. And then we're just going to see kind of what happens here. So installation starts now. All right, folks, so we had to do a little bit of a change here. The rail ice scratchers weren't going to work on this sled. Just the way the R motion is designed here, it just wasn't going to work. So I ended up getting the tunnel ice scratchers instead. So I'm going to install these and hopefully kind of figure out how they go on and what they look like once they're done. Ski-Doo does not give you the instructions, by the way. With these, they just kind of show you where they go on the box, and that's about it. So time to go to the forums or the website to figure out how to install these. Okay, folks, moving on with the process here. So I ran into some problems, as always, with Ski-Doo stuff. You know, they don't give you the directions, so you have to print them out yourself. 15 pages worth, of course. And then we run into the second problem. So, you know, I bought I have to have one for work here anyway, so I bought it. I bought a snap ring pliers to try to get the snap rings out on the back, because I thought this was all one piece and it was just going to be replaced by this kit. But I was wrong. So come to find out, I have to grind down, which I'm going to leave this in there. I have to grind down my, and it's barely in there, I have to grind down my 22 millimeter wrench here just to try to fit it in between the tunnel and the actual area here that needs to be latched on, so I can take this goddamn bolt out. So that's step one. Next, we just have to follow the directions here and move on with it. So we got all the parts, of course, and install and discard upper arm retaining bolt and washer. So we don't need that. Don't need the washer, don't need the bolt. So next we're going to install the ice scratcher onto the actual vehicle. And that's the next step we're going to do. We eventually got the scratchers on. So after my tobacco here with trying to find a flat wrench, or basically I just grinded a flat wrench to hold this piece into place, you know, and you can see the damage that was done to the actual part of the tunnel here. And then you can also see where I decided to mount the holder for the springs. So the springs are down. I'm yet to see how good these actually do. Right now there's a little bit of powder on the trails, but you can see these lift up. Sorry about the bad videotaping. You can see these lift up. One thing I don't like is where this rubs on the tunnel. So I'm gonna see what the damage is tonight and tomorrow when I ride, and then I may put some black tape or something underneath here. But we're gonna take it out here and see how it goes. We got everything mounted. I made this process a lot tougher than what it needed to be. Theoretically, it's really simple. You may wanna have two people here, but you just take this bolt out. You have a flat wrench or something for that area right there. And then you just put the bolt back in, follow the directions, drill a little area for the insert, and then you find an area to mount your holder for the scratcher too. So theoretically, it should be simple. For me, I got the wrong kit first, and then I worked on this. So I have about, into this kit here, I have about 4 hours of work into it. So having the right tools also helps. But hopefully this kind of helps. I wish I could have got a little bit more of a descriptive video, but this is what I have for you right now.